How does a touchscreen work? Touchscreens work using electricity. The screen is made of glass, an insulating material. It cannot carry an electric current. The surface of the screen is therefore coated with a thin layer of an electrically conducting material, such as indium tin oxide. This is chosen because it is transparent. The conducting layer is connected to a low voltage so that for a short time, there is a tiny electric current on the screen. This leaves it with a small electric charge. When your finger touches the screen, some of the small electrical charge flows onto it. Don't worry, the voltages and amounts of electrical charge are far too small to give you a shock. Sensitive detectors around the edge of the screen can detect which point on the screen has lost charge so that it knows which point has been touched. If you are wearing gloves, the screen won't respond because the material of the gloves is an insulator. What was the Great Molasses Flood? At the time, molasses was a standard sweetener used in America. It could also be fermented to produce rum and ethyl alcohol, which could be used in making munitions. On an unusually warm January day, a poorly constructed industrial tank containing 2,300,000 US gallons of hot, fermenting molasses burst, sending a wave of heavy liquid, initially 25 feet high, at 35 miles per hour through the surrounding busy neighborhood. It was no joke. Some 21 people were killed, another 150 people were injured, several horses died, and the force of the wave bent the steel girders of the elevated railway nearby. When the goo cooled and the bodies were removed, the city used fire hoses and salt water to try to wash the now near solid molasses away. Supposedly, the harbor was brown with molasses until summer. The disaster brought about many legal changes, including the first requirements for construction oversight by licensed architects and civil engineers. What were some popular but shocking attractions of the 20th century? A diving horse was a famous attraction in the mid-1880s, in which a horse would plunge into a pool of water from as high as 60 feet. Here are some authentic images from exhibitions. There was a man who smoked through his eyeball. Alfred Langevin is one of several oddities who features in the scrapbook of a circus fan, which is up for auction. It is believed that the Canadian was able to perform his bizarre feat due to an anomaly in his tear gland. Martin Joe Lorello spent 3 years rotating his head for the sole purpose of spinning it to 180 degrees. This practice, along with a few dislocated vertebrae, gave him the role of the human owl in many popular sideshows. Meet Frank Cannonball Richards, an American carnival and vaudeville performer whose act involved taking heavy blows to his stomach. Richards began by letting people punch him in the gut.